Welcome to Wine Chats with Bildo and Lindelin. My name is Billy Milovanovic, aka Bildo.
And my name is Lindsay Kirkwood, also known as Lindelin.
And this is an offensively funny podcast about drinking wine and chatting life. Hope you enjoy.
Billy, come sit down right now, you naughty girl. It's not that type of episode.
I was going to say, you're not going to spank me now, are you?
Yeah, I could, yes. But again, not in that type of way. We're going to be talking about disciplining.
Yes,
not
children.
Bedroom antics.
Oh, we should do that.
We've done many of those.
Also don't know how to discipline Henry in the bedroom. More just over there with my eyes closed.
Oh, with your tank top over
with
your
my
ass.
tie, exactly, yeah.
Anywho, welcome.
Well, that was weird. Hello.
It always is. It always is.
What happened?
You happened with a little bit of this in you already,
Yes.
because like we say every week, we have many episodes to record. So we've already been drinking. Yes, we have. The Hinsey, we love them. You should love them too. We have a code, Wine Chats or Wine Chats Podcast. Don't know. Just try either one of them. Gets you 25% off. I have an itch. One moment.
Uno momento.
Anyways, they're great. For every bottle you buy, you will have them remove an equivalent of 10 plastic bottles from the ocean, which
True
is
story. Yep.
like insane.
They literally just get into the gunk and pull all that stuff out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I want to do it. Would you ever go and get in the gunk and pull stuff out? I feel like we've spoken about this before.
Oh, every part of me says ew, no. But for a very short stint of time, I would, to have the experience and to be like, yay.
Yeah, if I had like a body glove on or something.
Yeah. Oh, they would. They
You're
wear,
right. Like
those
you would
big-
wear the big
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I'd just get up in there and
Yeah.
it feels so satisfying.
Would I want it as a day job? No.
Ew, no.
Yeah.
Like as pretty us.
Yeah.
To go pull some rubbish out,
make
create a
some
bit
content.
of content.
Yeah. Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So Reese, that's the company that actually removes it. Call us
We're there with our body gloves. Absolutely.
for 10 minutes in the water. Anywho, moving on. You should really try the Hinsey
Yes.
out, though. We're doing their Chardonnay. Billy ate a very big sandwich, so she's...
I'm like, I can't drink after I eat. It's just so, just can't do it. My body doesn't like it.
She complains that we need to eat because I can't drink on an empty stomach, and now you're complaining you
Well, I think
can't.
we ate too much. It's almost like we needed a snack, not like a
Oh my
full-fledged
God.
lunch.
We shared a sandwich and had a salad.
It was huge. We didn't even finish the salad. It
True.
was
True.
huge.
Okay.
Anyway, hello. How do you punish your kids? Tell me all about it.
Can we cheers, please? You're leaving me hanging. Like my
Did
glasses.
we cheers the last time? I don't remember.
The last episode, yeah.
Yeah,
But that
okay.
was a different episode.
Okay. Well, we're so glad you're here with us for this one.
Drink up, Billy. I love it.
It's wine.
Okay. So disciplining. Yes.
Oof.
Those little shits. Do you know what is funny that you brought? Because you
Yeah.
suggested this topic for today, and it was such ironic timing for the topic. Because literally just the other day, a thought popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, I haven't spanked any of my kids in a very long time.
And do you know why that is?
Why?
Because you spanked them early on.
Right. Exactly. Very good, Billy.
Like,
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
seriously, if
Yeah.
you're spanking your child and it's not working, that's probably not the right thing for your child. Like, I feel
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you consider, like, if you have to spank them for years on end. I don't know anything about
right. Like
it,
if
you know?
if you have to continuously
Spank.
them.
That's right.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
yes.
like spanking is one of those things that I only have ever done in a very calculated, teachable moment way. Like, it's never been like, oh, I'm angry at you and you've just done something and I'm going to smack the shit out of you. It's never
I've
been
done
like
that.
that. I haven't personally because I've never had to. Like, it's never been to that point. The one time I remember smacking May, my little one, I've told you the story before. I don't know if I've told it to you, but here we are. We were at the shops and we were in one of those playgrounds, you know, middle of the shops, the playgrounds, whatever, in a mall, in a shopping center.
A playground in a mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you've never, your mall probably doesn't have it.
Well, we have a little play center outside of the
No,
mall.
this
but
is
not
like in the
mall.
middle where all the shops are and then you know,
Right.
parents can just sit for a while, have a coffee and then there's a little
Okay,
playground.
Yeah. Cute.
Adorable. My child wouldn't leave it. We were ready to go and she wouldn't leave, but she wouldn't leave in that spectacular fashion where she was throwing a massive tantrum.
How old was she?
She would have been two or three. Like old enough to know and to understand when mummy says we need to go, we need to go. But not old enough to understand that I'm going to smack the shit out of her.
Yeah.
If she doesn't do what I'm asking her to do. So she was, she would have been about two or three and she was throwing a massive tantrum. Like neither one of my kids, Eve was never really a tantrum thrower.
Yeah.
May can definitely throw a tantrum. She was going off and she was screaming and yelling at me. She wouldn't put her shoes on. And I always remember my mum for some reason, because my mum was always so cool, calm and collected in public. It was very much like, it's okay, darling, let's go. And I was giving her these ones. If you don't put your shoes on right now, you're going to get a smack. And she was like, meh. And I was like, oh, that's 2. And she was like, just going cut and sick. Like she was going off.
And your blood's boiling at this point, right?
100%. But on my outside, I'm cool.
Yeah.
So I basically went up to like, now you're going to get 3. Now you're going to get 4. We got up to about 5 or 6 or something. Finally, I got her to follow me and we were like, let's go. Yeah. And I just very calmly walked straight to the car park. She's behind me, hanging off me. Eve's I've got Eve's hand and she's walking calmly, but she's like, oh, shit's about to go down.
Yeah. Mom is in that weird calmness.
Totally. Yeah. Calm before the storm. Yes. So I walked her down and I even tried to film her a little bit just to show Henry what was happening later on. And she was just like, no, like scream. She was one of those kids screaming in the shopping center. Yeah. And we got to the car park. I opened up both my car doors so, I can have that little nook of a space. And I like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My hand hurt and I put it back in the car and I closed the doors and we had this massive and she never did it again.
Lesson learned.
Never did it again.
And did she throw, like when you were spanking her, did she like immediately stop crying afterwards?
No, she was screaming the whole time. But I think then once we got in the car, I always, and this is another thing, like I always talk to my kids about it. Like it's never like I've just done this and then, go fucking figure it out. It's always very much like, this is what's happened and this is why. Yes. If you do not listen to me for this reason, this is what's going to happen. Yes. And then I explain as well, like why it's important for them to listen to me. So it's like, if we need to get to a place at a certain time or something, like I explain to them what's happening and what my thought process is behind it. Because I don't think it's good enough to just like do that. Like our parents used to beat us for fucking anything and everything. Do you think they stopped us to explain to us why they've just used the Serbian English dictionary on us? No. The fuck? No. So I find it really important to explain to my kids, like, this is what's happened and this is why I got to the point that I got to.
Absolutely.
And then after that, obviously we cuddled it out, we hugged it out, she calmed down and then we went back in and did what we had to do.
Yeah.
All was calm. And I am pretty sure maybe I've spanked her once or twice after that, like in the last few years, but it's really just not a thing that we do anymore. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah. I can't. I did go through a phase where I was, Ada, she's such an angel child, literally. Yeah. I don't even know if I've ever spanked her properly. Bane, I went through a phase where he was very hard, right? Where I was spanking him, but it wasn't. And I would always have a chat with him afterwards too.
Yeah, you have
because I think that's the important part. Yeah. But I mean, he's almost 11 now and it's kind of like we've ridden out that thing. Plus I would feel a little bit weird spanking him now. Like
I was going to ask because he's so old now. It's almost like I'm fighting a dude.
It's a weird age, especially for a guy, a boy. But yeah, it's funny how you hit that phase. You're like, wait, I haven't had to spank. Van's only 7, so I mean, he could.
Oh, I can't believe he's 7 already.
I know 7, and his little bum is just so little. But I mean, I could still be spanking him. Yeah. But my kids, I'm gonna be one of those parents right now. Really annoying. My kids are so well behaved, though. They're shitheads, and I don't like them at times.
Discipline them.
Exactly. I'm like I am such a strict mom in the sense of like. They know the rules and they need to follow the rules. Yep. It's like the dinner time, how we were talking about a while ago. Yep. Like at my dinner table, Cameron would probably absolutely hate it because he literally walks in the door and goes and sits at the dinner where they're already eating or just plating up. And like I'm constantly the whole time, Bane your elbows, Bane sit down, Van whatever, sit straight.
No way.
It's so annoying. Yeah. And I even annoy myself. But I just feel, I don't know, there's certain things and certain rules I demand my children to obey.
Yep.
And it's just, there's no like room for error. But it's not like if
But that's not a spankable offense. It's not something punishable, right?
I was just going to say, I'm not going to punish them. Yeah. I guess it's on a different level of disciplining.
Yes.
Like I want my kids to be disciplined, use that word in a different way, right?
Yes.
Are you following me?
No,
be
I am.
Yeah. And follow the rules of life and stuff. I'm such a rule follower.
I'm a rule follower, but I'm also really wishy-washy. Like I don't care. Like one of my kids will eat dinner and she'll have one of her her toes on the table. Like I don't, that. And then the only reason I'm like, get your toes off the table is because if you go to Auntie Lindsay's house and you do that, she'll probably chop your toes off. So just be aware that that's not an appropriate thing to do in life. Yeah. But I don't really in terms of punishing them now because obviously they don't do anything that needs spanking all the time. That's such an extreme reaction for something that's not needed right now because they're, like you said, well behaved. I think what do you do? Do you what's a scenario where you would be like, nah, you're going and doing what? How do you punish them now?
The boys they annoy the crap out of me. They are so rambunctious. They're boys, right? Yes.
Yep.
So if they're not on their iPad, they're horsing around, they're being super silly and obnoxious. So if they keep acting like that, it's always take away their device. The device is the biggest thing. My kids are 7, 8, and 10.
Yep.
So like devices are huge. Their lives. Like that's their lives. And that, like, especially for Bane, when I take his device away, it's like I've killed a puppy in front of him. Literally, like his world is over.
Puppy killer.
Totally.
God.
And he'll immediately be like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'll be like, that's great, buddy. Thank you for the apology. But you still don't get your iPad. You can earn your iPad back. So another thing I'll do, because I'm always really extreme. I'm like, you don't get it for 2 days.
Yeah.
But then in my mind, I'm like, fuck, 2 days.
That's 2 days of me having to entertain them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not entertain them, but like listen to him like, Mom, can I have it back? Or him being annoying with Van. Like, so I'll say you can earn it back with good behavior, which is like a little bit of a mind fuck, right? Because it's like, be extra good and then you can get your iPad back. So literally that is my only go-to for disciplining right now. Just the iPads.
My go-to is taking away like treats. My kids eat a lot of treats.
Do they?
They do. Well,
what a bad mother you are.
Right? I just realized now, because as we were talking about it, I'm like, I actually, like you were saying, don't really feel the need to punish them or like discipline them in a lot of ways anymore. We kind of just talk things out. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, can I, like, I've asked you like 1,000 times to do this. Can you just fucking do it? Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, but like I was just doing this and that. And then we'll be like, oh, okay. Like you just gave me a reason as to why you were doing that. So I just kind of go, okay.
But was it a valid reason?
Well, yeah, like it'd be like, oh, well, I was already putting this away or I was doing, you know, or I'll just get totally fed up and be like, no, like you're not getting whatever you wanted today or whatever. I think my punishment more now is like being disappointed and yelling. And occasionally being like, no, you fucking didn't eat your dinner, so you don't get your treats. Stuff like that. Yeah.
I still yell.
Oh, I yell.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you don't yell. I'm
no.
I yell.
I think that's what I use now. Is more like yelling and just taking maybe like a treat or two away.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the deep disappointment you feel sometimes when your kids haven't closed the toothpaste properly. Like that sort of stuff, you know? Yeah. So I don't really have any, like I don't do naughty time. I don't do like go stand in a corner, take time out. I've never done any of that shit.
Yeah.
Before I don't understand. I just explained to. I think I don't know whether my kids are really just easily explainable to, but I just sit down and talk to them like normal people and say like, you fucked shit up. Can you not?
Yeah. Stop fucking shit up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? I do. Speaking of the naughty corner thing, I only ever used that a little bit with Van, and it was a just like a small period of time because he's like my wild child, so like he needed a little bit of that, but it was never one of those, because I am going to make fun of you people hardcore, one of those like, you go in the corner, think about what you did, and then mommy's going to come. I know you talk to your kids. I'm not making fun of you because I know the difference between what you're doing with these. You know, okay, now let's sit down and talk to the 1.5-year-old about what it did wrong and why, all that bullshit.
That's so dumb to me. Especially when they're that young. They don't fucking understand. Like that.
I'm just not that. I'm going to go here right now. Look how fucked up the kids are right now. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's true. Like,
I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry,
for not being sorry.
I'm sorry if this is news to you.
Right? Like there are so many fucked up kids in this society right now because they're not getting spanked. They're not getting disciplined. They get to free roam doing whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want.
And there's no consequence. There's no fear. They don't fear anything.
Totally.
It is. It's really, I feel like parents have really scared to parent these days. There's something weird going on.
It's because society judges parents for spanking their kids and
really
actually disciplining their kids.
Yes.
That's why.
It's this whole weird thing about how we need to be nice to our kids but like that's not preparing them for anything. Like,
and to be the friend.
To be the friend. I think there's a time and place to be a child's friend when they're 21 and need a ride to the clubs or something. You can be their friend then.
Or 17.
Whatever. But my kids are going to be 21. But yeah, it's weird. It seems to me like people are just scared to parent like they should be. Like there's definitely the extremes where obviously people in the 80s would do crazy stuff to their kids. I get that. We've been there. Yeah. But like what's happening now is just not good enough either.
Totally. And like, I mean, we're no researchers, but like the news tells you.
Oh, it's enough. Exactly. All the teenagers and stuff that they're doing right now, that's come from a place. This is not.
And it's funny, even like from the level of like properly disciplining to like even little things. Like I had a friend come over with a younger child a little bit ago, and the child just kept coming at us. Right. Mommy this, mommy that. It just kept interrupting. I get it. She's a little bit younger. I get it. But if that had been me and my child, I would have said, no, enough. You've got this, that, whatever. Mommy's visiting. You go away. Like, I feel like there's no boundaries sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
am I making sense? Like,
You are making 100% sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to take us to a break.
Yes. Oh, take us to a break.
I'm going to take us to a break.
Let's take the wine.
Let's go. And I want to come back to that. Okay, goodbye.
She's got her finger out. It's important. Serious.
Okay, what I wanted to come back to was this whole I've just lost my train of thought. Where's my wine?
We were only gone for 30 seconds. Billy.
That's all it takes. Honestly, about 23 is all it takes. No, I think this is what coming back to what you were saying about like the kid not leaving the mum alone and giving mum space. I also think what people are lacking these days in parenting is they don't teach their kids to respect them either.
To respect what themselves?
The parent.
Or the parent?
The parent.
Right. Oh, okay.
I have this weird thing where it just doesn't seem to me like people are drawing boundaries even within their own relationship with their child, which is why kids continue to like piss at their parents. And then these parents are like bending themselves.
Did you say piss at their parents?
Hester.
Oh.
Good Lord. Don't. If your kid is pissing on you, that is like next level disrespect. We're going to give Lindsay a second to come back to us.
Choking on my piss.
Oh my God.
I don't know where I just took
None of that is true. Because the people listening on the podcast are like, is she peeing in a cup? What's up? It's a Chardonnay, we promise. No, I just have seen so many kids be so disrespectful to their parents.
Yeah.
It gives me hives. I cannot stand it.
Yep.
The idea of my child coming up to me and just not respecting my space, not respecting my time with my friend, not respecting my time in the kitchen, not respecting my physical body, as in like they'll come and slap and they'll do this and they'll do that because they think that this is it's funny or it's this. Or it's I do not understand that parents are letting their kids get away with that shit. Like,
no,
you are teaching them.
Annoying.
It's annoying. Like it's like you like I'm not saying like punish them for, I don't know, not respecting your space, but also make the clear boundaries and make it known to them that this is like you said, hey, like you're okay. Yeah. Like you need to be able to just be autonomous for like 10 minutes while mommy has a freaking coffee. Like it's okay to say that to your kids. Sure, small kids, it's a different vibe. We all get it. We've been there.
A different vibe, but still, kids are fucking smart.
They're smart and you got to start young as well.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like I remember that photo. I every year it comes up for me. I share it. It's of us.
Yeah.
Me and Lindsay just trying to have a coffee right over there.
Oh.
And both our kids
of the girls
in the room crying. They're like separated by about a meter and they're both looking at us and they're both just like in tears and crying. And we're both like, okay,
whatever.
Sort it out. Cry it out. It's fine.
We're right here. You're there. You're
like,
fine.
You are safe. Everything is fine. This whole idea that we're constantly making our kids happy.
So funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that we're just constantly trying to make them not sad. We're just trying to make them happy. Like we do whatever we need to do to keep these kids happy. I want my kids to be happy, but I also don't need them to be so happy to my own detriment where I'm not teaching them how to behave in the world. That's so
weird.
Because
they become dickhead people as well.
Who expect that everything will just be dropped for them by everyone. Like I think my job is also to teach them to just like, it's okay if you just don't get the thing that you immediately want then and there. Like you can be patient.
And to deal with that in a normal, emotional manner type thing.
Because I think that's the other thing, like both our kids, because we're such fantastic parents.
Absolutely.
Right? They're just all so emotionally regulated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I can't even believe I'm saying those words because to me it just seems like such a fancy way of just saying like my kids are calm. Like I hear a lot of the times parents will be like, oh my gosh, they got in the car and they just lost it. You know, they cried all the way there. They cried all the way back because they just, they're completely like overwhelmed and they're crying. And I can honestly say hand on heart, that does not happen with my kids.
Same. And we're not bragging. We're not trying to be hoity-toity those parents.
No, but I'm just saying this is how we've gotten there. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. I really have
Same.
never been put in that position. Sure, maybe when they were babies and I didn't know what I was doing and, you know, whatever. But I'm saying like these days, the day my kid gets in a car and is completely losing it, something has happened.
Yeah.
That is not a normal reaction to me. Like I know that that's like something's...
It's not on the regular.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think like not punishing them enough essentially is what I'm saying is problematic if you're not doing it for the right things and right reasons.
I just have a little tickle in my throat.
Come on, Lindsay, I'm expecting you to speak now.
I know, and I'm trying to be very, very wise, but like, you know, when you have those tickles and it's like, oh my God, don't think about it because you're going to make it worse, but then you can't not think about it because it's so bad, and then you can't.
And now we're all talking about it and thinking
which
about it.
Which makes it worse, and I'm going to get hot. And it could be perimenopause. I don't know. It could be the tickle in my throat. It could be the wine. No. So many options. So many of it. No, spank your kids. Seriously, what's wrong with you?
Or just discipline. It's okay to discipline them, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny because we obviously... I'm going to say something.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just... No, I'm trying to...
It's not her. It's the tickle in her throat.
Stop. I had forgotten about it, but now it's back. No, like the whole thing how you said, like, we don't need to be friends with our kids, but you do want to have a friend aspect to your relationship, right?
Be nice to your kids. That's not like...
Well, yes, but like where they trust you and stuff. So what my point that I'm trying to make that I'm having a very difficult time to. So my eldest, he's going to be 11 soon, right? So like there's, you see things ticking over to a different type of relationship between us. Because he is, even though like before you have kids, you think, 10, they're still so little. But when you have a 10-year-old, almost 11, you're like, who is this human in my world?
I have an 8-year-old and I cannot believe the level of her maturity and understanding on so many different, like I just thought they would be playing with Barbie dolls and hanging out.
Right?
That is not what these 8-year-olds are doing. And so I can't even imagine a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, totally.
You're absolutely right. It's like, Ada, play with your Gabby Dolls dream house that you desperately needed. Yeah, right. No, she wants to shop online on Shein.
Yes.
Like, anyways, I've created a monster. Anywho.
Same.
I think these are the two that were in the room crying together. Yeah.
Yes, those two. Yeah. Yep.
Anywho, what I'm trying to say is, even though I've been a bad parent to some people from spanking.
Yeah.
And I'm a hardcore disciplinary.
Disciplinarian.
Right? Yes, that word.
Good.
My almost 11-year-old told me who his crush was. Aww. And like, I know this sounds really stupid, but the point I'm making.
The level of trust.
The level of trust.
Yes.
And like the, I don't want to say friendship because that's probably not really the right way to describe it. But I was like, I'm doing something right.
Totally.
You know, so for those spanker haters.
Yes.
Like, I think that's.
I think this
parental win. I'm saying,
I feel totally.
Like that's a parental win.
Obviously, the spanker haters think that it's abusive. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to like obviously touch on that as well because it's not. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be. There's definitely a clear-cut line. I get what people are saying, but to me, it's more of like a physical reminder of like, hey, whatever's happening is not okay. It's a physical way of saying to them, this situation has gone too far. That's really it. Yeah. You shouldn't be leaving bruises on your kids. You shouldn't, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be so over the top that it's like giving them trauma. This is what everybody's worried about. Yeah. You're going to traumatize your child. Children are not that easily traumatized. Firsthand, I can tell you children are not that easily traumatized.
I was going to say.
Shit can happen to kids. Yeah. Shit does happen to kids all the time. Yeah. Way worse shit than whatever you can come up with. Trauma is like a really serious thing and it's just not that easy to do with one spanking or two spankings in their childhood. So like, it's okay. Just teach them how to behave well. It's fine. Here are some, by spanking them, here are some ways, because I wanted to Google, I'm like, okay, well, what's, like, if you're a parent and you don't know how to, like, discipline your child, and you're Googling it, what is the internet saying?
Did you research?
I did.
Oh, she researched.
These are the 10 healthy discipline strategies that work. And our apparently strategies have worked, so we will tell you.
I can't wait to listen to this.
I haven't read this, so this is exciting.
Oh, my God.
Show and tell. Teach children right from wrong with calm words and actions. And for the moment, can I just say as well that this isn't one of the only lists I looked at. I looked at pretty much like a lot of them and they all kind of say the same thing about how to discipline kids these days. So here we go, which is why teenagers are out of control. Yeah. Model behaviors you would like to see in your children.
Okay.
So like monkey see, monkey do.
Okay. I hate this list.
Set limits. Have clear and consistent rules for your children can follow. Fair enough.
Sure. Of course. Duh.
Be sure to explain these rules in age-appropriate terms. So, like, don't put together a pie chart for a 2-year-old. Unless it's an actual pie and they can eat it. Give consequences.
Oh, my God. Who wrote this?
Calmly and firmly explain the consequences if they don't behave. For example, tell her that if she does not pick up her toys, you will put them away for the rest of the day. It's not much of a consequence.
I was going to say, like, I think meaning she can't play with them.
But I do agree with consequences. And I think if you're going to if you're going to threaten, oh my God, follow through.
We should touch base with this.
Please.
Absolutely. Because back to the device thing, because my children are so device driven. I will say if they're starting being little dicks or fighting or whatever, I'm like, one more time, the device is gone. I threaten all the time, but I obviously, absolutely, always follow through.
You have to follow through.
Absolutely.
If you are threatening your child and it's not working, again, you're not doing it right.
Well, that's because they're thinking, oh, yeah, sure, whatever, Mom. You say that all the time.
If you have to follow through, you have to, and it has to be enough of it to deter them from doing it again. You know what I mean? So don't like threaten something basic and then let them do it. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. If you're going to threaten, follow through. So I like this one. This one's fine.
Yep.
Hear them out. Listening is important.
Look,
and I agree with that as well.
It has its time and its place.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with that too, because a lot of the times, like, oh my God, I had this, I don't know if I told you the story. This is kind of bad. My kids were really sad. So this, probably a couple of weeks ago now, one of my kids wanted to come home and they wanted a lollipop or something. And I'm like, oh, well, we've got like a whole bucket full of lollipops. Oh no, they wanted a lollipop at the shops. And I'm like, no, I just found a whole bucket full of candy from Halloween. Naturally in my cupboard somewhere. It's been buried for how long?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. I'm just going to bring it back out for this year. Anyway, so I found this whole bucket and I'm like, oh my God, kids, I found a bucket at home. You can have a look at it when we get home. God. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so we get home and May's like, where's the bucket? And I'm like, oh, it's in the cupboard. So she goes and gets the bucket and I come back, you know, around 5 minutes later or something and the bucket is on the table, but it's empty.
What? No.
And it was full. And I'm like, even May, I don't know what's happened to the candy in this bucket, but it needs to come back immediately. Because like to me, you cannot take the candy and just bury it in the house. Like, I don't know what the fuck you guys have done.
Yes.
But this candy needs to reappear.
Yes.
And I was like, because it was the afternoon and it was, you know, after school and there's homework and there's this and there's that. And I was like, fucking bring the candy back. I don't care where it's gone. Bring the fucking candy back.
Yeah.
And they're both like, no, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. And I'm like, oh, right.
Okay.
So I'm like, I actually don't care. But in 5 minutes, if the fucking bucket isn't replenished, like I'm throwing all the candy away in the house.
Yep.
Come back 5 minutes later, bucket's still empty. And the kids are like searching around the house and they're like frantic. They're sad. They're frantic. They're all this stuff.
But they know where it went.
I know. So I'm like, well, fuck this. So I start pulling shit out from the cupboard and I start throwing candy away straight away. I'm like, I'm not even fucking playing this game.
And were you secretly like, yes, I got an option, like
100%, because I want to get rid of all the fucking candy anyway. Like, let's replenish, right? So I'm starting to throw shit away.
Yeah.
And then I just have this moment of like,
love it.
I'm just gonna check the cupboard again because they seem very like because both of them are like, I didn't do it. Like it wasn't us. We don't know what it is. And I just had this like weird like, I mean, they might like porcupine a little bit, but like to this extent, like they were both upset, like visibly upset. I'm like, something's weird here.
Yeah.
I go into the cupboard and lo and behold, there's a fucking bucket full of candy. There were 2 buckets, one inside the other. So as she took the candy out, she must have left the empty bucket on the table, put the other bucket back in the cupboard. And so this is one of those times where I'm like, I almost fucking punished them and got real like, right on, like I was ready to throw it away. So that's a time where I just had to sit down with them and be like, I'm so sorry. Like you have to apologize and be like, I was wrong. Like that was a situation where like I fucking should have handled that a little bit better. I'm sorry.
Well, no.
I almost threw candy away because I didn't, because I think it's like I should have like listened to them and worked with them maybe a little bit together if they're so, I don't know.
But I mean, you did in the end. It's not like you just was like, whatever, and you threw out all the candy. You were like, oh, hang on. Your gut, which was in a previous episode, was saying, oh, wait, this isn't right.
Something's
like,
right. Yeah. So anyway, I think it's okay for kids to also be able to give you feedback and whatnot.
100%. To show
hear
that
them
it's
out.
normal and natural that like shit happens. You talk it out, you deal with it, you move on.
So hear them out.
Yes.
Give them your attention. Well, fucking duh. If you're not giving your kids attention, there's your first problem. Full stop. I'm not going to read that one.
You already did.
Catch them being good.
What?
Kids need to know when they do something bad, but also when they do something good. I'm a huge praiser. I praise my kids all the time. Yeah. My kids will wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, my beautiful waking babies. I love them. I praise my kids for everything.
Yeah.
Know when not to respond. As long as your child isn't doing something dangerous and gets plenty of attention for good behavior, ignoring bad behavior can be an effective way of stopping it.
Look, I'm not capable. I'm not capable.
No, this is how kids get away with shit. This is what happens. It's like, oh, I'll just let that slide. Oh, here's an example. Well, actually, here's an example. Let's see.
Yeah.
If your child keeps dropping her cookies on purpose, she will soon have no more cookies left to eat. If she throws and breaks her toy, she will not be able to play with it.
Look, I do agree with that on a certain situational basis.
Sure.
Not on a regular basis, but like, you know, example. When you're at someone's house.
Oh, yes.
And the kid keeps annoying you. And throwing their cookie on the floor or something. I'm going to ignore the kid throwing the cookie on the floor.
Is it your kid?
Any kid.
Oh, I wouldn't yell
But,
at
like,
somebody else's kid if it was my kid throwing cookies.
I was
on the
making
floor.
a joke that flattened, like rolled down the hill and
Died.
died.
It's dead. We no longer see it breathing. It's gone.
Shit, you say sometimes. We no longer see it breathing. No, but I'm saying obviously my child, not someone else's child. But you, like, there's a time and a place, I think,
Yeah.
to ignore the child. I agree with that. If it's on a regular and
Yeah.
that's the way you discipline your child.
Because sometimes they're trying to get your attention. So
Yeah.
the best thing to do is to, like, by doing crazy shit. And yeah, anyway, sure, we'll give you that one. Be prepared for trouble. Plan ahead for situations when your child might have trouble behaving. Yeah, my child doesn't have trouble behaving because they know what I expect from them.
We no longer see it breathing.
I don't know, it's gone. It's dead. Redirect bad behavior.
You see, is this list
So
over?
they misbehave because they're bored. Again, like teaching them that being
bored.
bored is okay.
I'm bored.
And call a timeout. I don't do timeouts.
Time out.
Yeah, are you timing out in the episode?
Time out.
Oh, there's a little thing
there's
here
more.
saying spanking and harsh words are harmful and don't work. Here is why.
Do you know
Blah,
what?
blah, blah.
I think this is okay. I have a very bad potty mouth. My kids are.
I do, but not. I don't direct it at my kids. I know you like
I
probably
do.
swear. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
absolutely
don't.
do.
I'm not a name caller. Like I don't like that sort of.
I don't call them names, but
Fuck face. No. Oh,
I'm like,
she thought about it.
I could have possibly maybe let one of those slip,
Yeah.
maybe, but it's more like, shut the fuck up. How many fucking times do I have to
I
tell?
would never.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
I know. I get each their own.
Judge,
Yeah.
like send the hate my way. That's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging about it. I'm not proud of it.
It is what it is. If we're being honest, like this is
100%. I'm being honest. Because a lot of times after I have those screaming, yelling, swearing matches, obviously the guilt sets in. I'm like, oh my God, they're just
100%.
kids. Like, why am I speaking to them like that? Whenever I have had those screaming matches, it's like what we say. I go back to them. I apologize. I'm like, Mommy has a bad temper. That's not an excuse. I'm so sorry though, blah, blah. You talk it through. But do you know what is funny about the swearing? This is where I'm getting with it. Little kids like to swear, right? They think it's cool, whatever.
Yes.
And I swear all the time.
Yeah.
But my kids, it's actually worked well for me. My kids never swear. Bane, the almost 11-year-old.
Yeah.
No, but lots of other kids, especially Bane's age.
Yeah.
Dude, I have heard when they're online talking, like some of his, they're
Really?
yes, because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
Kids are growing
But
up
I've never,
way too fast.
my kids would be like, like, can I say,
Yeah.
like Eve will be like, can I say like a bad word? And only in the car if we're like listening to a song. And I'm like, okay, go on. And she goes, fuck you, bitch. She'll like come up with those.
Ada wouldn't even say it.
But she says it in like this,
Yes. Bane.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying, the almost 11-year-old.
Oh my God.
He'll be like, like the B word mom, like, I'll spell it out if you need me to. I'm like,
Right.
no.
Like
he,
bitch, please.
Good one. We no longer see it breathing. It's just so funny. Some of the things you come out with. But like, it's actually where, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's funny because some
despite how
parents
much
will
you
say,
swear,
yes.
essentially, it's not that they've picked it up and they're not using it.
Yes, because I have friends that are like, oh my God, I don't swear at
Yeah.
all around my kids.
Oh, that's dumb. I don't do that.
Don't let them read messages from you because you swear. Because I do. I swear in my messages as well. But like, I just feel like sometimes that can backfire because they're like, ooh, I can't swear, so I'm going to swear.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
make sense?
Like with alcohol as well. Like I've always said,
Yeah.
because I had alcohol since I was like a kid at the dinner table with my parents.
Right.
I wasn't rushed to
Yeah.
go and drink when I was
Yeah.
18. I'm like, I get the gist.
Yeah.
I know what it's about. Whereas people who
Yeah.
haven't had it are like just let loose and
Absolutely.
fucking poison themselves with alcohol.
I'm so, oh God, can we talk about
We
that
need
another
to,
time?
yeah, we need to go. Actually, okay,
We're
goodbye.
going to go from this one.
It's been a long
We're
time.
well over. We're dead. We're no longer breathing.
See ya.
Smack your kids. They deserve it.
Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Bildo and Lindelin. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
We're not putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end.
Yeah.
Both of us?
Yeah, go on.
okay. Chat soon.